clean twice a day for a month on fresh scar, and the scar completely disappeared. She went back to the doctor, like, where is the scar? So it does show like truly regenerative properties. If works best on fresh scar, of course.
That you are alive.
So wait, you trying to tell me that we have podorожник, aka plantain, in North America?
Yes, it was brought from Europe by white people. The Native Americans call it the white man's food plant, because when it blooms, when it seeds, it has that long stalk with seeds, and they get very sticky when wet, and they get stuck to shoes and to carriage, the wheels and all of that. So that's why it grows podorogi, it grows along the roads, because that's when the seeds get dispersed from the feet and from the wheels. Yeah, so it's not native to the US.
Wow. How does one look into getting into herbs? And I'm going to expand a little bit on that question. What I mean is, we hear all kinds of stories as far as how the herb is picked, how the herb is dried, and then how many people perhaps touch the herb and pack it and send it over. Like, how much of that is true? Like, how complex is us getting the proper herbal treatment, or is it not that complex and we make these stories up?
So let me understand your question better. What are you asking? Like, how hard it is to pick and process, or how do we know where it was? Like, yeah, just
yeah. I'm gonna clarify my question. So basically, let's say I go to like a pharmacy and they have chamomile or something, a box of chamomile. Does it matter that where it comes from, how it was dried, how many people touched it before it was packed, like all of these different things? Is that mystical side true to it, or are we
yeah, I think it does matter. The fresher the herbs, the better. And if it's labeled organic, it's probably going to be better quality than not. And then if they're packaged in capsules, I have heard different stories how they package, they put rice flour mixed up with herb and they package it as real herb. So chaga, I collect chaga in the north and I do it sustainably only in small amounts, and I let it regrow and regenerate. I don't take the whole piece, I maybe take part of it, and I don't sell loads of it. Like, I make it expensive, so then people who really need it buy it and they use it wisely. So, and if you pick chaga from a dead tree, it doesn't have any properties. So how do you know if you go online what kind of chaga, where they picked it from, and if they knew how to pick it? So of course, it's a very big question. So I would encourage you to ask somebody who you can trust, or grow your own, like if you have even like a box garden, if you want to plant parsley or chamomile, peppermint, sage, of course do that, and start to get into knowing the herbs a little bit better. But so many times people who have never done something like that, they don't appreciate all the work that goes into making something like that. It's like, I had a client who on Instagram, she said that her son had big cut on his leg, and I said, oh, I have this, like, I felt bad for him, I want him to heal quick, so I said, I have this plantain cream that's healing, so if you would like to purchase it, here's the link. And she did purchase it, and then she was saying to me, oh, when it will get here, how much is the shipping, and all of that. So, and then she was saying, I should have ordered on Amazon, and I said, my cream is not on Amazon. And she's like, it doesn't matter, I would just find whatever cream and buy it there with free shipping. And I was just appalled at that comment, because that devalues everything that goes in. I have to go to the forest, the plantain cream, everything is either picked by me wild or grown by me, all the herbs in it. So all that work kind of was discounted for convenience. And then people are how to say, so used to free shipping. You know, it's not free. You have to still pay it somehow. Like it's incorporated into the price of product or other products. You know, if I go to post office to mail my product to my clients, I don't ship it for free. They charge me money to ship it. So I kind of want to make people be more real, you know, and start doing things with your hands, and go and find it and collect it and dry it and make cream yourself. Then you will start to understand a little bit better what goes into that.
Listen, I'm right behind you, man. Somehow in this Western society, if it's like poison, we're so glad to pay for it and like pay extra for it and everything like that. If it's something natural and good for you, we're always fighting against it. Like, oh, this was this and this was. It's I don't know. It's a tricky characteristics that we have in the West, man. People, I guess, are used to being poisoned. What I wanted to know is, what is the process like? Let's say when you get a client, is it a very individual approach, and how do you go through that approach? How do you find out exactly what herbs you need to provide for this client?
Yes. Yeah. So how I was doing up to like a year ago, people would contact me and say they maybe have these symptoms, or maybe they have this test, or maybe they have this diagnosis, and they say, what should I do? So I would just go and based on their symptoms, right, or complaints, I would recommend maybe anti-parasite cleanse. I would recommend liver supporting herb. Like one gentleman approached me, his cholesterol was high, so I made specific blend for cholesterol, and then he actually drank 2 tins, which were like 1 month supply, and his cholesterol went from 256 to 183. So that was like very, very effective. So it is individualized approach. And in the last year, I was studying and I got certified in iridology. So this is a study of the iris, and I have special equipment, or you can use your phone, like very good macro, like close-up phone lens, and then you would take a clear picture of the iris. And then I analyze, I am taught to analyze the signs. It has 28,000 nerve endings in the eye, and it shows us the spine, it shows intestines, digestion, it shows all the organs. Some of them are genetic markings, some of them are current markers. So we can use that as how to say, more precise way to evaluate what is going on in the body, and then more precisely I would recommend different things.
It's like a blueprint almost.
And I ask people, like, what is your digestion? They say, oh, it's fine. What is your this? That's fine, and they don't go into detail. And we all have different ideas of what's normal. And so you might not necessarily get the clear picture, with just talking to people, but the eye don't lie, doesn't lie. So the eye will show whatever happens in the body gets recorded in the eye, it's kind of like a mini computer. So that has helped to gain more understanding for me and my clients in how to kind of excel in the path to healing, and also use diet approaches. Right now I'm focusing on blood type diets, because I find very beneficial for myself, and for clients who switch, have great benefits and results. So it's a holistic approach, of course. And then to work on the emotional, I do emotional sessions online and in person, where we talk about emotions, and we tap meridians on the body, just different points on the face and body. And it takes 2 or 3 hours, but the results are amazing. People, we pull out such old forgotten traumas that are actually in our subconscious, that actually like our life events are based on that trauma, because we seems like we replay the same old story, but we forget and we're not aware of it. But once we analyze it through the session, people are like, oh my God, I can see it now. But the great news is that you get free of them, and people leave my office like the shadow comes off of their face, and they're like lit up and they're smiling, and they're like all of a sudden free of all that burden that they had all their life.
Prove to me that you are alive.
So we can work with PTSD, you know, with any emotional trauma and anything that's things that are not healing, or interpersonal relationships, anything that you know, stands in the way of people be happy, you know, and then their health improves as a result as well.
How important is the blood work? Do you look at the blood work? Is it necessary for you to look at a person's blood work?
It's not necessary for me. If they bring it and they want to tell me things, I can see a lot of things in the eye. You know, I can see what the pancreas is doing and what the blood sugar levels are. I can see maybe cholesterol deposits, you know. So there's a lot of information you can gain from the eye. But if people have those results, I'm sure, you know, I am gonna look at them and then take them into account. But that's not a necessary thing to have.
I'm gonna my next couple questions are a little bit edgy. First of all, first one is since you are an herbalist, what do you think about cannabis? What do we know and not know about cannabis?
Yeah, you know, I have, when the first hemp oil came out to the market, you know, I had a couple. Like I had one girl I knew, she grows their own, they grow their own, and then they, you know, somebody processed it for them. So I tried it, you know, just by drops, and what it made me feeling very edgy and very like frazzled. And so I realized that that herb is not the one what my body wants to work with. um, so I personally do not work with hemp, you know, CBD oils, because I have arnica oil, I have all my herbs at work, so I don't particularly feel attracted to it. And I haven't studied cannabis and its properties to the great extent. I feel like um, you know, if we're in a chronic pain, we can have remedies. Like you had your remedies that I sent to you that helped. You know, we have remedies that would help. And then if it's mental or emotional pain, we can clear it through the emotional tapping session. So I believe if we can do something for people not to try um, to escape, you know. So I feel like it's escape from whatever pain people might have, and like even meditation and different things, I feel like they're escape routes from this reality. So I am for, we live in this physical reality, right? We came to this earth, so let's fully be present here and make sure that our psyche and our physical are happy so we can fully enjoy it. And there's tools to, you know, to get there. So that's kind of what my
Yeah. Yeah, when we're finished here today, please make sure that you send me all of your links. That way, I can plug them into the description under the video, because we have already. Well, I personally myself recommended you to a bunch of people already, because again, you know, I was mind blown with the fact that the herb that you sent actually worked, because I've had this problem for a long time. I had a lot of trauma on this left side. Literally nothing worked, from the strongest painkiller to cannabis to anything. I tried everything. Um, so I definitely want to recommend you to everyone. I don't know if you can answer the next question. So what about like psychoactive mushrooms and stuff that are coming into the psychology world in the West now? You know, something like Amanita, or something like you know, DMT and things like that. Like, what do you know about those?
yeah. So you know, Amanita muscaria grows in my forest here, and people like Russian speaking people would approach me saying, "Do you make tincture? Do you make tincture?" And I said, "I don't." It was years ago, and I said I could make it for you, and then they would purchase it, but I would not use it myself. And then about 2 or 3 years ago, I got a book about Amanita and its properties, written by MD Russian doctor who works in, I think, California. So I got so impressed. I'm like, I gotta try it. So I had tincture and started taking drops of it, you know, and then it's not like they had issues to clear, but I have lower, like naturally lower blood pressure, so I could feel like my blood rushing to my extremities, like I was warm, everything was balancing, it was going to my brain, and It provided very clear mind, and it just brings like this happiness out, and it clears all trauma. And then, when you're a kid and you're like, wake up, you're happy to be alive, and you're all sunny, and that's how it makes you feel in a way. So I do believe in microdosing. That's a medicine. Some people take it for regular doses for psychedelic effects. I do not recommend it, and I have not, I don't support that, because I believe it's an escape again. Okay.
Right.
Yes, so you're gonna might see great vision, and it might help your development, but I feel like, why are you trying to escape this reality? It's so bad and painful. I understand, but let's heal it. Let's see what support you need to get you to a good place, so you are happy without any substances. I think that's kind of is the goal, to see your own inner light.
Yeah, with psychoactive mushrooms and things like that, I think again, a person thinks that there's a shortcut. Like, let me take this mushroom, I'm gonna have this trip, and it's gonna reveal everything tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be good. So, do you know, like, as far as tincture for Amanita, what is the process of making that? Do you have to use alcohol in order to make that tincture?
Yes, because you need alcohol extraction, because alcohol, it pulls out properties that water does not. But some people take it just plain dry, or they make tea out of it. So I mean, it works either way. I just work with tinctures. I have a bunch of different tinctures, so that was just a natural, easy form for me to try it. And I use a raw mushroom, and I tincture it right away fresh. So that's how I do it.
Okay. With all these years of all this wonderful work that you have done, looking back, what do you think is the most common thing that people approach you with? And is there such a thing? Like, one thing that probably, the most of the people that have come to you with?
Yeah, I mean, depends, but some big ones were parasite cleanse. One woman tried it, and she saw parasites come out. And she likes to eat raw sushi, so of course, she saw them come out, and she got so amazed. She recommended me to a bunch of people, and a bunch of people got the formula. One time after COVID, one woman posted she's losing hair. I recommended tea, horsetail tea, and then a bunch of people came and ordered my tea. So it kind of goes in waves. Like liver supporting things are very popular, calming things that people can't sleep, and they're like frazzled nerves and stuff like that. So what else? I don't know, immune supporting herbs as well. Yeah.
The reason, sorry for interrupting you. The reason I ask you that question is I'm trying to get an idea. What are we as Americans mostly suffering from what you see from your experience?